Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on FTB Integration by Parts. So as the moon is rising today, we're gonna do a little bit more astral. Now in order to do a little bit more of astral, we need that attuned crystal. So to actually get the attuned crystal, there's a couple of ways. The first one is go mining. But you can't just go mining, like where would you mine, right? Well, apparently you just need to put this guy in your hand while it's nighttime, and you can see somewhere around here there's actually an attuned crystal. Now I also went ahead and I found that there's another one right over here. Now I actually had this in place before I noticed this, but since I placed my quarry here and I'm actually using the power from my windmills to actually run this guy, it's going quite a little bit deep. Is it pretty much on deep slate, and since this attuned crystal is on deep slate, what I'm gonna do is I'll probably just put a water bucket, go down there, and then start looking for this. Yep, and as we are getting close, we can literally see where the attuned crystal is. Now this is pretty handy, you know, in order for us to actually... oh, draconium ore. Oh, I want that. Oh yes, please. And here it is, the rock crystal ore. Oh, it actually breaks. It doesn't actually allow for silk touch. And we got it on the purity. So I don't really know what this means, but I guess we'll probably find out. But yeah, we got one. I'll probably go ahead and maybe dig on like that direction to see if I can find another. But we got what we wanted, which is these guys. And there we go. We got ourselves a light well, which actually gives us 2 more light wells. But yeah, now we gotta go and make a Starlight crafting altar. This is the first upgrade. The first upgrade altar in astral sorcery. Crafting transforms luminous crafting table. Instead of actually making a new item, the bucket is returned on use. Oh, okay, so now we need liquid Starlight. So I believe we can get it, well, by doing this and waiting. I guess we should actually read quests before we do stuff. Aha, there we go. So we just put an aquamarine on top of this, and this is now picking up things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually go to the corner here, put some aquamarine so that we have these two just starting to fill up with liquid Starlight. Oh, there goes one of these wisps. I don't know what these guys are. Like, how do I pick you up? Because I tried to pick him up, but I couldn't, so I just hit him and it didn't actually drop anything. So you guys know how I can pick that guy up, or if I can really do anything with that, please tell me. And hopefully this works. Oh, yep, there we go. It did actually work. There we go. We now have the Starlight crafting altar. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now we do need to actually pick him up for the quests. There we go. Quest is now done. Sooty marble. Okay, we might need that for something. We don't know. Now, I kind of want to go in this direction right here. I don't really know what this is. More Starlight. Astral relay will provide you with extra Starlight to a nearby altar. Build its mini structure. Place a relay on top and a glass lens inside of it, and it will activate. So we need an astral relay. Build its mini structure, which apparently there's a mini structure attached to it. Guess we have to check it on the book. And oh, I kind of want this though. Marble seeds, they may come very, very handy. Well, I know this is going to happen. Basically, we kind of need a structure around the Starlight altar, as you guys can see. I'm guessing this is a bunch of marble blocks. Yes, I guess you can go ahead and break it. Probably have the what we need in the book, though. So I kind of don't know where I want to place that structure, because I don't think I want to place it at the top for now. We might do the basic structure at the top, but at the moment, I don't really know where I want to place it. But I do know where I want to place another thing. So I want to place this bad boy down, this wooden warehouse. Now it does come with a little bit of a caveat that we can't rotate the structure. Now if we go here, I wanted to place it over there, but if I try and rotate it, well, it does nothing because it doesn't rotate the structure. And you can see some complex blocks can't rotate, so we can't rotate this, which means he will always be facing north. So I decided, well, let's just go ahead and go over here to this side. We can clear out an area, we can flatten this area out, and then we can place it. And to do this, I got myself a rod of terra firma. Now this is easy to do on the Lumious crafting table. You need the mana steel pick, mana steel shovel, couple living wood twigs, and an item user, which takes a dispenser, invar gear, constant gear. Pretty simple crafting recipe. And this guy needs a mana tablet. Like, you need to have mana with you to actually use this guy. And take a look at this. He's pretty good. He's pretty good at flattening an area, is he not? But the only issue is he drains mana quite a little bit too fast. But it's okay. We got a couple. I got a little bit of mana that we can spare, so we can actually use this. The trees, of course, they do not come off. You actually need to go ahead and take those out yourself. But this is pretty good to flatten an area. Just look at this. Well, yeah, we kind of run out of mana now. But yeah, you can see we flattened this area in just seconds, which is pretty good if you have tons and tons of mana. There we go. The warehouse is now down, and we can start with storage. Yes, this is why I wanted this guy. We wanted this to have some more organized storage, and we can use this factory for more machine things, and then we can probably move out the farms somewhere over here as soon as we start clearing when we get more mana. Now, in order to get some storage here, I'm going to be using the storage scanner from RF Tools. Now, this guy has a radius. I don't know for sure what's the radius. I'll still have to try and find out. There you go, the radius that you can find. Oh, there we go. I can put it all the way up to 20. So it's finding these crafting stations. Of course, I want a little bit more than that. I really don't know if it's 20 blocks. I believe it's 20 blocks radius. So it's 20 blocks every single direction. I'm just gonna count it and try and put this guy a little bit in the center, which may be here. So out here in the back, I made a quick system here using the thermoelectric generators with some blocks of uranium and blue ice to generate a decent amount of power. And I also set up 3 LV capacitors so we can have like a storage over here in case we're draining. This guy is now starting to fill up because both of these guys have filled up. We have the screen controller. I'm not really going to use the screen right now, but let's just place it here anyways. But we have the storage scanner, which already scanned ahead all of those chests. So I believe if we just do this, yes, we can see the items are starting to go in. Now, yep, there they are, right there. This is perfect, and we now finally have a storage. Now, the only issue with this storage is that, as you can see, it says that we have 2 electrum coils, but we only have 1. Why is that? And this is something that we need to, well, bear in mind, is that it's technically detecting the block on the 2 chests, because it only counts the single chest, so this one, and the other one that makes it a double chest. So if you don't want to have this problem, you just basically remove a line of chests and you only keep single chests. And we may do that, just like, for example, instead of having this double chest, I will remove this guy and we'll only have chests like this. This would technically make it easier for us to see what items that we have, but this actually gives us more storage. But we do have plenty of space to put storage, but I want to do something else on this side. So if we need the space, we kind of have to keep it like this. But if we don't have that many items, or maybe there's a better chest or something like that, is there a better chest that we can do? Well, there's actually an iron chest and copper chest, so we might want to upgrade some of these ones. But well, why did I want to make this storage? And I actually upgraded some of the chests to copper. I wanted to make this because we're gonna start having tons and tons of resources, and I want to start like having some things organized. And the next thing on the menu is a mob farm. Yes, and to make a mob farm, we're gonna need a couple of these things. We need more than just a smelter controller, but this is one of the important parts of the machine. But to start off, we need a cardboard box, and to make this, we just make some sawdust. We can do this with a macerator on any type of log, basically. And you get 4 of these, you make a cardboard box, and boom, you're ready to go. Now, this is an amazing item from Mechanism. This allows you to actually transport spawners, which is insane. Now, after you do this, you actually get the reward for the quest. There we go, the moving day, and then you get a spawner seeker, which searches out the nearest spawner, and also gives you a husk spawn egg. I guess we'll have to figure out why it does that, but if we do this, it'll tell us, well, we have a spawner here. Oh, it kind of went a little bit too far for my liking. Uh-oh. Well, I'm gonna try and find something. Well, it was kind of right. I did find the mine shaft, and we did find a spawner. Now, we have a free spawner, which means we can take this guy home. So basically, depending on the mob that you put into a smeltery, they will now give you different types of resources. For example, Blitz will give you glacial blood, a witch gives you a magical mixture, Blitz, yeah, gives you Aethan blood, and it goes on for several different mobs. A blade gives you blazing blood, a creeper gives you molten glass, drown gives you water, an enderman gives you molten ender, ender slimes give you ender slime, the elder guardian or guardians give you seared stone for some reason, the vindicators or the pillagers in general give you emeralds, which is pretty good. An iron golem gives you, well, iron, for example. Silverfish give you seared stone as well, so we may want to get the silverfish spawner from the fortress, if it's still the regular fortress, which I believe it is. Gives you seared stone, so we can do more and bigger smelteries. Magma cubes give you magma cream. Skeletons give you milk for some reason. Yeah, and so on and so forth, as you guys can see. Now, the good thing about this is the fact that all of these things can be turned into the mob drops. I believe only blood is the exception to this. But for example, if we take a look at the venom, we can take the venom and we can cast it into making spider eyes, and that's pretty good, you know. That's really like a really good thing to do. So it really allows you to use the smeltery as a mob farm. The only thing is that, for example, the blood, you can turn it into blood or coagulated blood, or turn into blood bones, and then you can turn into several different items basically, which is also pretty neat. But except for the coagulated blood, which I believe can be used for a couple interesting things, like basically a slime block that's not really a slime, but it works as a slime block. So you can use it for anything that requires slime, or you can even use it to make rubber. That's why I want to get these guys as well. Now, the only issue is that I was only able to find spider spawners and blaze spawners. I found 2 venomous spiders on the mine shaft, and then I found 2 blaze spawners, and that's all. So the good thing is that we do have the husk, right? It's the husk egg, yeah. So we can turn one of the spiders, for example, into a husk spawner, and ideally I would want to get any other egg. I don't know if you're able to do it. Oh, we were actually able to get some of these eggs, not all of them, but through mystical agriculture we're able to get some of these eggs, which may be good later down the line. Like, ideally it would be a skeleton, or it can even be an elder guardian. For we can make an elder oh god, this is way too broken. Well, that doesn't necessarily look pretty, but it's working. I put on there a blaze spawner and 2 spider spawners. One of the spiders will now turn into a husk spawner, but as you can see, we already have blazing blood and we have venom. Yep, there they go. They fall in and they die. Now, this does actually pick up the items that they drop. They still drop Inferium, they still drop the string, except for blazing things. And we're collecting it here, Imperium Essence and String. We're collecting both of these. String we can actually trade with a villager for emeralds. Imperium Essence we'll later be using when we make massive crop fields. There we go. We now have a raid of mobs coming in, which is, well, I guess it's going to fill up pretty fast, not gonna lie. So we kind of need to have a way of toggling on and off the farm, because you can see, we're actually not hearing them dying. Well, how is that? Well, I did get myself some ear deafeners, and then we can go here into the muffler, and I just search for, in this case, husks. And I toggled off the death and the hurt sounds, and I did the same for the blazes and for the spiders. And as you can see, we don't actually hear them. We hear them fall, we hear them make their own noises. If that gets too annoying, I'll still take that off, but right now it basically allows me to know that, well, there's someone here, and I should not take those sounds off in case I'm actually out in the world. I kind of want to know if there's a husk behind me or something like that. So we're using the blazing blood to repurpose it into the smeltery, so we can actually have, well, a pretty good smelting item, because it smelts 150 items. So this is pretty good. And let's go ahead and make ourselves a block of infused redstonium. Now, of course, it takes the red crumcrum to give us that from a quest line. Some red quartz, a brick, nether brick, and whatever it's called, agglomeric, yeah, it's the nature agglomeratio, okay. And it takes 400 seconds, I think, or ticks, I'm not sure, I think it's seconds. So it's going to take a while, but it's going to give us an infused block of redstonium, which is one of the next things that we need to do. So we needed a little bit of automation over here. Yes, and what is this, you might ask? Well, this is for us to automate redstonium crystals, or basically anything that really requires only one item crafting with the energizing orb. Now, I've seen a couple of things on the people's Discord and on the FTB Discord, and we do have a way, a very good way of making the energized steel. This one, which uses steel and electrum. That's also a very simple way to do this, which I'll probably be making later down the line. But right now I need a bunch of these. Why? We are gonna try and make this quest. This needs 200 bio-enriched circuits. Now I'm gonna do these by hand. I do not recommend making them by hand, but I will be making these by hand because I want this alt miner so we can go mining for hours and get tons and tons of resources, so I can I don't need to worry about not having resources again. Now this is tricky because I need 50 of these and I need 200 of these. Now these are the ones that I'm working on right now, the filled rubber electron tubes, which need the rubberized electron tubes, and they also need biomass. Now biomass, we just, well, use a melting chamber with biomass and, for example, bamboo. That's the recipe I'm gonna make, and we get easy biomass. That's not the issue here. The issue is this recipe, which takes in 4 items. I only need 50 of these crafts, but I'm gonna make 64 of these crafts with 64 rubber, 64 copper wire, 64 redstonium, and 64 glass. So let's get our hands to work. Well, I made something, and I think it's gonna work, and it's gonna actually save me a lot of time. So basically, if I put you, and you, they will start cooking it. And then all these guys should drop items into the hoppers, and perfect. Yes, we actually have automation for this. That's so good. Now I don't really need to do all these 64 crafts by hand. I can just wait and this will be made. And this actually works with other recipes. The only thing you need to do is, well, by hand, put the items into the droppers, and the droppers push into the hoppers. The hoppers just then put it into the energizing orb. The energizing orb does its thing. Of course, you do need to have a filter here for the item that you want to come out of here. In this case, I have the rubberized electron tubes, but you can do this for energized steel or redstonium or whatever, and just feed it into the items to the droppers, and it does its thing. Pretty cool. Well, of course, power was a little bit of an issue, but fear not, because the recipe's done, so this is now filling back up, and then the power would go again into these machines. This guy still needs more power, but this guy already has an ingredients here. It has the biomass being inputted through the back. It has the rubberized electron tubes from the side, and it already gave us 5. Now we need power, because yeah, our power generation is being made by 2 thermoelectric generators, but these rods actually take in a lot of power. As you can see, they take 100k each, so yeah, it's gonna take a while to fill these guys back up. This one is done, so yeah, always gonna go into this one. After that, we're gonna have this thing back up and running, and I'm probably gonna replace these cables with the basic versions. These are the starter ones. I still need to put these on basic so it does a little bit faster energy transfer. But you know what, guys, it's with a lot of things done today that we're gonna have to end it up right here. I do want to make a very cool things for the next episode, so stay tuned on the next one, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you in the next one. Bye.